Hey everybody, welcome back to 18 Outdoors and welcome to Iowa. Our first full day here. Which we scouted 3 spots yesterday evening. We finally found an Iowa rub that's fresh. That's at least maybe a 2-year-old. Coming out in this. A lot of places to hide. What do you think?
I think we're gonna find them. I think we're gonna find them.
We found one.
Yeah, we found them. There might be 15.
Well, that's the second one we found. We found a 4-point. And this is the first fresh scrape that we've seen. We've seen a few rubs, but a lot of corn. Got a front gonna blow through the next few days, supposed to rain and stuff. So there's plenty of corn on the ground. So, and we've seen a few deer driving around, but nothing major. They'll walk up on 1 4-point. So right now, this is a decent little rub, but probably not the buck we're looking for. But this is the freshest sign as far as bucks that we have seen so far. What we got right here is about as good a sign as we found. So. Fresh. Real fresh. Alright, some people want to know what difference in a deer and beaver. So this is right here. This wore so slick, you know, deer wear some stuff pretty slick, but that you can see the way the ground is smooth. Beaver's flattened and stuff, so that's where beaver's been doing some stuff. So you can actually see a select card in there. See a beaver stick chewed right there. So good way to kind of weed that sign out. So it's just beavers coming to a cornfield. So also you can see we're a little bit chewed right there. So you know, of course deer can use that to an extent, but I don't know if I trust that. So we're gonna move on. But that's again stuff you got to kind of weed through. Here's one they've been working on lately. I'm not kind of hungry, been messing with trees like this. Alright, this right here is, like you see this tree line coming down here, it meets another tree line. There's a creek back there of that ditch. Typical kind of corner stuff. Pretty good rub right there. Kind of, you know, something gives you an idea, hey, there's a buck in here at some time. You know, that's still a couple weeks old. So. But again, you got to find as much, like we're spending 2 days, maybe 3, trying to find as much information as we can before we commit to some climbing. So, Mr. Bird Dog, Cedar Ridge Chronicles out there. He's diving in like a rabbit dog. Alright, y'all. We're getting a little bit fresher on stuff. I don't know if y'all can see back there. You can see some a lot more beat down trail stuff coming out of that where that ditch is and that other side of that CRP stuff. Fresh rub right here. Beginnings of a scrape. Ain't really chewed on that licking branch some. That might be a young deer trying to figure it out, but that ain't too bad. Of course, we're in Iowa. This ain't Alabama. That might be a 6-point, or might be a nubbin buck. Well, we know. We're gonna find out. This ain't one of the coolest spots I've ever been into as far as, like if there was a bunch of big sign in here or something. Good Lord. You could
a small sign.
Yeah, you could see a big rack just popping out of that anywhere. So we got a fresh scrape right here with an old historical licking branch. That's pretty repetitive. So the beginning, We still just ain't seen no monster. Which there's a rub over there in front of Daniel. Yeah, a couple of them, ain't that's another little one right there? Okay. So, we're getting close, maybe. A youngster right there. That's pretty fresh. You know, this stuff on this edge, a creek system over that way, so it's just nasty stuff. You see that CRP stuff or big tall grass up that way, so again, kind of overwhelming. You know, I mean, you know, your mind is like spinning out of control because you're trying to figure out, hey, there's big bucks here, but it's kind of trying to narrow them down or pinpoint them, or hopefully we're not overthinking too much, because another fresh one. So that's like if we was in Alabama, and we might be overthinking. If we was in Alabama, that right there would be like, I might need to be hunting right here somewhere. So, but you know, we're in the land of the giants, and Daniel said he ain't shooting nothing unless it's a 180. So we're gonna see if he holds to that. So 108. Now come on, now realistically, just for the camera, what's your goal? We're gonna see what his goal is, folks. Be serious.
I don't want to shoot nothing under 130.
Now, right here is fixing to be the tail of sign right there. If I see what I'm seeing, I could be wrong. So
that broke licking branch.
Yeah, you're looking for what? I mean, what's the minimum score?
I don't want to shoot nothing under 130, but I want a 140. I never killed a 140. I want a 150. 150 would be great, but if 130 walks by me, it'll be hard to pass up.
Yeah, he's right. It's hard for somebody from the south, which that's what we're known for, is running some of these northern places, because we first 125, or what we think is a Pope and Young.
Yeah, 2-year-old.
We shoot it and get there. Yeah, it's 2-year-olds. So it makes it tough for us. You know, like my goal is past the 140. You know, I want to say 160, but I might get overwhelmed. See them horns.
That's a lot of antlers.
That's a lot of antlers. But hey, this place has got them.
That's
so,
it. Yep.
So, but anyway, we're going to go over here and look at this thing and just see what this is, because it looks pretty. That's been digging, and you see that licking branch up there. That's fresh stuff, and he's, you know, there's even some higher up that's off. So that is pretty dang. I mean, well, we're going to investigate more. You got a corner of woods right there, so it's almost like a arrowhead point. So we're going to look at it a little bit more and kind of see. Me and Daniel sitting there talking like, anywhere else besides Kansas or Iowa, you know, this little edge right here that we found is just crap. I mean,
Perfect.
we're
For deer, this is perfect.
right, and we're looking.
I need that tree to be rubbed.
Yeah, we're looking for a tree like that to be rubbed, and we might be overthinking, you know.
Well, it's still a little bit early too. Before it burns, so I mean, it could be a giant making them a little bitty thing.
Yeah, that is true. So anyway, but this is cool stuff. Yeah, it's very fun looking at it. Gets my heart pounding a little bit. I hope, you know, like if I was Daniel with a heart condition, a big word, a little bit, you know, because yeah, walk up on one with a broke leg. It's 200 inches, and he keeps hopping.
Stand up 30 yards from us.
Yeah. Oh, man, I do have a pocket knife. Got some smaller droppings, but the thing about that ditch, got a bunch of stuff across that ditch as far as CRP and stuff. It's just that gum. Of course, all this is tore up. Again, you won't hear me say it a lot. It's very cool. So we'll see what this plays out to. All right,
Looks like it is.
we've come back here to a corner of private and public, and well, we were discussing about, you know, the deer where they could bed and stuff. When you look at this point of that sage stuff with that wood line, just there's stuff like that all over the place that you don't know what's bedding in it. You know, we tried to access from a different way by a fence line through some thick stuff like that to make it to a clearing to get somewhere, but crap, we couldn't get through it, and they got beds and that stuff. So it's pretty wild that how they bed a little bit different than what we're used to as far as that stuff. So they was bedding within 50 yards of that main road. So right beside what they wanted to do. So we're trying to figure out something in this corner. So.
Oh, look at this. That's what we found yet.
A fence post rub.
You heard people talk about fence post rubs on podcast stuff. Well, this is one right here. That's a rub on a fence post.
Crazy. We're both videoing at the same time. But hey,
yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, that is
Fence post rub.
It's a good rub too.
Yeah.
That's what we found here.
Trail coming through this little edge. So. But look, it's a perfect intersection. Of course, we don't know. You got stuff coming from 4 different directions. Trail, this timber stuff. Are we on private land right here?
Huh?
Are we on private land right here?
No, it's corner.
We're on corner of public, private. But yeah, that's pretty dang cool. Now, if you're waiting on the telephone pole rub, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, he's wanting to say a monster rub. Well, that's the biggest one we've seen. And that is pretty cool. Looks like we got a scrape getting started right there. Licking branches, and look at that nasty mess back there. Pretty daggum thick, but hey, that's where the big boy's at. We hope. We're in the thick of it. It's up to 20-mile-an-hour gust, 49 degrees. Pretty warm for Iowa. So they ain't got no corn up here. Or CRP stuff. That deer was a little bit aggressive on that. Starting stuff. They getting warmed up a little bit. If you're really getting serious, it's the kind of crap you got to do. You got to get in there amongst them, you know. Try to do that. Stuff head high. Well,
I think there's a deer we're looking for.
Oh man. I think if we jump one, we could actually run it down and catch it. There ain't no way it can run through this stuff.
We'll be just tangled in this stuff.
Especially if its rack's big enough. Anyway. Alright, y'all see that big old track right there. I keep going in that stuff, so what it does look like coming from the corn, you know, maybe going into that. I mean, it's all that stuff like before the ride. You're trying to figure some of that stuff out by finding a big track. But anyway, just a little tidbit, that taller, nasty stuff with that little point that goes back toward that river. We scout one of these WMAs on the side, and that's a pretty place right here. Real pretty. That'll be like a dream place to own, really. We got some doe beds right here on the side of this. Right, sun comes up over that hill, shines on the does bedded right here. It's pretty neat, but of course opens all get out. Then you got high ridge system up there, so pretty neat, pretty cool area, really. Very pretty. Alrighty, y'all. Finally found old mossy horns, aka old split toe, aka a big sucker. That's a big rub. So, that's what we're looking for. Hoss daddy. Right here in the edge of this stuff, so kind of a fuzzy transition, you could say. Everybody, welcome back to 18 Outdoors, and today is day one for hunting. It's in the evening, and I don't even know what day it is. I think it's the 29th, but anyway, of October. So, Iowa public land, big buck country, you know. We did talk to some game and fish people, and they said the numbers are down because of the last several years of EHD. But he said it wouldn't. It could be worse. So anyway, we're set up. Me and Daniel Williams are set up. We found some big old trap coming out of a thicket, crossing a cut bean field, going into corn, and they're fresh. And we thought, we found 3 or 4 areas that we're interested in, and we wanted to try this before they cut this corn. So we're set up. If you can see across there, suspected deer, I'm hoping gonna come right out of there. So, and maybe come down, or if I have to kind of ease up and do something, we'll see. But it's 30 yards across there, so not real far. So, but you can see I'm kind of set up in this corn, situated in a little bag chair. Got a little Nukem blind thing set up right there, just kind of blocked me right from that point where I could get drawed, hopefully. So gonna try this one time tonight and see what happens. So anyway, we're gonna hang in there and see what happens. It's we've got a couple plans made that how we're gonna try to approach things. So we're in it. We're gonna see what happens, and hopefully we'll show y'all something. Again, cut bean field, bedding over that way, and then they're coming across the bean, going into the corn to feed in the standing corn. So, where they feel protected. Hopefully, the rain drove them out of the corn. They're in that stuff right there, so the thick stuff. So, hopefully they're not already in the corn, which does happen. So, anyway, I'm gonna get my mask and stuff on, and we'll see what happens. Hey everybody, we're back. Today is the end of day one of hunting, our first day. In the evening, what did we see? I only seen 2. It was right at 7 o'clock. Old Cedar Ridge Chronicles, Daniel Williams seen 8. How many did you see?
7 does, 3 bucks.
7 does and 3 bucks. Front's done blown through. It's already like 40 degrees out. We're looking forward to going in the morning. But right now, I got the old air fryer going. Got some Weaver's meat processing, Salisbury steak we're gonna fry up for some hot sandwiches. And if y'all are in Alabama or around Alabama, y'all need some deer meat processed, hey, Weaver Meat Processing, Hartsville, Alabama, the best deer processor in Alabama. Take your meat to them. Anyway, we're getting ready to wind down, might watch a little bit of World Series, and be ready for our first morning hunt. We're going to a different spot. We got like a transition close to some corn and stuff. It's got 12, 13 scrapes that were kind of small with some fresh rubs, and it looks real good. But that is hunting is hunting. We've probably seen 30 deer coming back to the camper tonight. Anyway, that's the end of day one. We appreciate y'all, and we'll keep y'all posted. Hopefully, we're gonna get something done tomorrow. Maybe, you never know. This air fryer says add food, and I'm ready to add food this gut. So we'll see y'all. Everybody, morning number 1 of hunting in Iowa. Again, we're on public land, me and Daniel Williams, for this first week. My brother's gonna be here next week, so anyway, this morning it was extremely foggy. But I did see 2 does, and you'll see them here in a little bit. But I'm gonna talk about the situation right here. So I'm on a, if you can see back that way, there's a creek back there, right there, like a creek crossing that comes up, a trail right there, which is kind of a funnel, and back in there is a bunch of rubs and individual scrapes, like scrape lines. CRP stuff that way, as you can see through there. Daniel's way over there. Then this drainage runs right through here. Just a contour, you know, transition stuff. I have to access through there. So I access through there just straight to here. No way to get from behind. So, and them 2 does you'll see in the video cross right there at 23 yards. Just walk through there. So pretty cool morning. So it's we're doing an all-day sit, and we'll probably, and unless we take care of something, we'll be back here and try it again in the morning. But this is a real cool spot. Multiple things that kind of point to this direction. Has a travel corridor and there's tracks and stuff everywhere. So it's again, it's Iowa, so, and it's getting close to November, so it could be getting good for real long. So got more stuff set up in this tree, just in this notch, set up in the B stand, lock on with some latitude sticks, just to get in amongst this tree stuff. Again, I've got this tree for blockage. I'm hoping they come out of there. That's, you know, that's close, but yeah, that's where them does come from. So of course this way I can watch, you know, and see anything come for a long time and get prepared to get up, make a draw, or so be ready for them, or shoot sitting down. I can shoot sitting down if I need to. So all right, we're gonna rock on and see what this evening has. So it's about 12 o'clock right now. We'll sit all day and we'll keep y'all posted. Well, buddy, morning number 2 hunt in Iowa. Bow hunting, of course. So nice frosty morning. It was about 34, I think. Calm. Again, everything was kind of covered up, glazed. No wind really, so clear blue skies now. And it was again a very nice morning. And then about 5-10 minutes after 8, thought I could hear somebody hollering. Then yeah, heard some more hollering, and in a few minutes you could tell they were hollering at dogs. And had one bird dog come working through there where them does come from yesterday, in one of the kind of areas I expected deer to come from. And then dog come right in front of me zigzagging, then back out into the CRP stuff. And hey, they had 2 dogs, and one of them ended up flushing up a rooster pheasant. So flew by me. Of course, I couldn't get it on video, and I was kind of making sure the guy wasn't going to shoot, and he didn't shoot. So don't know if I actually seen me or not, but anyway, public land, part of it. So they went they went toward Daniel, and I thought I heard them shoot a little bit later. But anyway, still a beautiful morning. Again, didn't see no deer, you know, because of the dog. I don't know whether or not, but they did come through that area pretty good over there. But we still had a couple more ways that we thought the deer would come from, so we're gonna climb down. The agreement was we're gonna climb down to 11 and then go check out another spot and hunt a different little spot this evening, because we're jumping around looking, trying to find, you know, here this morning and last night we haven't seen a deer on the road here lately. So it's kind of, things kind of slowed down a little bit or changed a little bit from what we've been seeing at night, but that don't mean a whole lot. So before that we'd seen we seen one big buck, but he coming off the private land, going on the private land. So, but he was a big one. So, and I saw a bunch of deer. We've seen 50 something in one night, something like that, going back. That's pretty a bunch anyway. So anyway, we're gonna get down and see what we can do. Hey, we're hanging in there, we're trying, you know, it's public land and it's hunting. I mean, it's not, I even had somebody hunts that lives here said, don't think y'all gonna come out here and just, I guess, kill a monster, which we know that, I know that, but you got a lot of people that think you can, you know. So it's just, so we're trying and putting in the effort and having fun, because it's a cool place. You can tell by the tracks and all that and the rubs and stuff, there's some monsters here. We just gotta wait them out and keep moving and be patient, of course, and keep hunting. So, and we are doing that. So anyway, I'm gonna climb down, go meet Daniel. We'll see y'all. Appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all after a while. Walking up this hill, doing a little hanging hunt. Walked up on this. 2 scrapes under that tree. So I'm gonna get up here and get a little quick look, but I'm gonna be climbing. We'll keep y'all posted. There's another one of them fence post rub thing. Pretty wild. This sage edge. Some scrapes right there on that tree. Try to figure something out real quick. Meh. 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 Everybody, welcome back to 810 Outdoors, and today's the first day of me hunting by myself. Daniel left out this morning to go meet some guys in Missouri. He already had plans for that, so if he tags out, he will be coming back. So now I'm gonna be pretty much hunting on my own until my brother gets here. So had a few little neat situations today. Come over here to this area with I seen the 8-point yesterday, and had a guy come up, which there's always some people in the parking lot, some locals, and talking to one old guy, and then another guy come up, evidently a private landowner, was kind of mad about somebody trespassing, so evidently one of these guys that was in the parking lot was trespassing, so not sure. And then later on, after they left, a game warden come up. He was pretty friendly, but he checked my license and stuff and asked a few questions, so you know, kind of spooky a little bit being by yourself, I guess, but hey, that's just part of it. So especially because the one local guy that come out, he was not very happy about how many vehicles was in the parking lot, so he was a little protective, I guess, of the area. But anyway, I'm going to show y'all my situation yesterday. The 8-point come across and come up through here. So according to that local guy, which me and Daniel kind of figured out, you know, the deer's bedding around here, and they're going across to some cornfields that's being picked and stuff. So right here, I thought I would show y'all my setup right there. So not gonna be extremely comfortable, but you know, comfort don't kill big bucks. So anyway, latitude sticks, carbon sticks, got 1/8 at the bottom, single 8er, 4 sticks, B stand, and I really love the setup for doing this kind of stuff. It's neat. So anyway, I'm fixing to get up there and get situated and be ready, you know, for this evening, because it's cooled off and the ruts, you know, beginning to get. According to that local guy, he said it's pretty good right now for some of the stuff. So we'll see. So I'm gonna get up there and get situated, then I'll move on to back to the morning spot with a dog coming on me. Cause that's kind of a dang good funnel. You know, bird hunters not just gonna have to kind of keep an eye on it, but we'll keep y'all posted. Everybody, get y'all a little update. You know, it's been a couple of days. It appears things have slowed down a little bit, which they've not really been hot yet anyway as far as bigger bucks. But day before yesterday, I didn't hunt, wind blowing 55, 60 mile an hour gust, and that's tough bow hunting. And as you can see right now, it's going gusting 25, but crap, I want to hunt a little bit. This general area being, I've only hunted one sit where I didn't see anything. You know, and that was this morning I come in here. I've never hunted here this morning, but I went ahead and come in here this morning and I bumped one out. So it might have been a mistake, but this will be like the I think the sixth sit. So one day we hunted all day, rest of the time just half days, you know, mixing it up different areas. So big buck sign in this area has got some small game hunters that kind of come in today around lunch. It looks like I just seen two walk out. So but gonna get settled in for this evening. So my brother again, waiting on him kind of, but it's you know, I'm still hunting. I'm still kind of paying attention to some things. So, but enjoying it out here. It's just not the perfect weather. It's 40s in the morning, which is fine, but it's 70 something in the evenings, and then it starts cooling off pretty quick. But that daggone wind, whole tree's moving right now. But I'm kind of in a cool little pinch, so hopefully something will come close. So got these light arrows right here, them Easton, I think 5mm, whatever it is. They shoot pretty good in wind as long as you ain't too far out. So, but can't really show you the area because it's pretty easy for people to kind of figure it out that live around here anyway. But anyways, it's a pretty cool spot. So again, it's got big buck sign. I need to get rid of this gum, but I was chewing on it after lunch. So, but anyway, we're gonna try to keep y'all posted, and you know, again, which, you know, this is gonna be later on before the video comes out. Always be patient and don't let things kind of, you know, affect you, because I mean, it's just, things are not always wide open. I mean, it's hunting, you know. If it's not easy. So, you know, and I don't want it to be easy. I want to enjoy it. So I'm not kind of pushing it too much to the extreme, kind of being patient and kind of moving around quite a bit, looking, checking out different areas, and just kind of getting a feel for Iowa as far as this part. Because I really, you know, besides the late season muzzleloader hunt, which was strictly hunting corn, you know, food source, because it was zero and below zero. So anyway, trying to get that figured out, because I like to come back here in a couple of years and just, you know, make this kind of a routine, just some of these bigger buck areas of it. Anyway, thought I was seeing a deer, but it's a leaf flipping. So anyway, we'll keep y'all posted. Again, we appreciate y'all. You know, I know some of these videos kind of get kind of boring or whatever, maybe. So hopefully not too bad, and hopefully I'm, you know, pointing out a few things. But so, but being with this, remember this, being with this, you know, rut and pre-rut stuff, you know, bucks are starting to cruise a little bit more. So, you know, stay on the edges, stay on funnels, you know, just, you know, start figuring out where the does is at, and how the buck's gonna get to them to check them. So, and hopefully that'll work out for you, and hopefully it'll work out for me and my brother and Daniel and the Southern Outdoor when they're fixing to be out here somewhere. So we'll see how all that goes. It's gonna be kind of interesting. So, but we'll keep y'all posted. Alrighty, y'all. As you can see, got wind blowing again. So 30, 35 mile an hour gust earlier today. It's supposed to slow down this evening. So, but you know, y'all have already seen the video of the monster buck I seen yesterday. So, and it was after that. It was crazy high winds yesterday. But it was after it slowed down about 25 minutes or so before dark. Big boy, he was following the doe, and so I moved. I was actually going to leave that spot today and go somewhere else if I had, you know, which I've been seeing. I've seen 5 bucks out of that one tree I was in. So a couple of them young ones I could have, you know, shot. So, but he was too far out. So I repositioned. I wanted to position where he come out at him, that doe, but when I got in here today at lunch and was looking, and it was just too iffy to me to feel comfortable to set up in it. So what I did is I set up across where they went to, and it was still daylight when they got there. So we'll hope. I'm gonna spend a couple evenings here and just see them, because I think that was the 4th evening I've hunted off and on in that spot because it's just, I mean, there's, again, I'm not going, this time of the year, people kind of argue with it a little bit when, if I find a phone or some area where bucks are cruising or whatever and I'm seeing more than one, it's hard for me to leave. Hard for me to leave deer to find deer, and he's a big one, so it's hard to leave him just yet. But, you know, it's going to be a crazy weather change this weekend, so it'll be a lot colder. So, but anyway, we're going to see. So it's 2 o'clock, so I'm here way early, and it was 5 something when they come out. So we'll see what happens. So hopefully keep y'all posted. So just, again, I'm just kind of maneuvering, you know, just trying to get one. If that doe's still in here, if he's following her around for a reason, and she stays over here. I've seen the doe in about the same area that they went to a couple evenings before, and that's the only two does I've seen here. So, but if something over a 140 comes through here that's not him, it's gonna be hard not to pass. But hey, I mean, that big and something else. I mean, that's what gets your hearts pumping. So, and today is the 4th year anniversary of me shooting the monster with the muzzleloader in Alabama. So kind of, you know, been remembering, reliving that memory. You know, it's hard not to. You know, 'cause got an owl hooting. So, but, you know, the chance of me shooting another big one on that same day is, you know, very limited. But I have shot. You know, there's been a few days, like December 2nd, I've shot 2 or 3 bucks home. So it's just, and one of them was a big one, the other one was a good one. So anyway, gonna hang in here like a rusty nail and see what happens. So hopefully we'll get something to show y'all here for too long. Anyway, but you never know, it's hunting. So, and I know a few people. Clay Harper, a friend of mine from Georgia, I know he killed a nice one this morning. Said he seen like 8 bucks chasing, and actually had some walk up on him while he was taking care of that deer. So that's cool. And he's in Iowa, so he's the only one I know in Iowa right now. I got a couple more that's coming up Thursday. So, but I don't even know what the day is. I think today's Wednesday. Anyway, we'll sit back and enjoy this because it's been fun so far. So I really enjoyed it. So anyway, we'll keep y'all posted. Hey y'all. Back at it again today. Yesterday, I had a rack buck get by me. You know, he was too far away, but kind of come out where I couldn't see him and some of the old sage stuff. But couldn't really tell how big he was. Just know he had a rack. So, but so today, which the wind is crazy, so it's kind of done a dadgum like a double switch. But anyway, so I repositioned because of the wind. It's acting crazy, but still might not be that good. It's kind of funky. But anyway, it'll hopefully blowing like crazy right now. So leaves falling. So hopefully it'll slow down. It's supposed to. So and hanging in there after that big buck. So I just till at least my brother gets here, and then. That front, got a front coming through starting tomorrow, I guess. So supposed to be some 40-50 mile an hour winds, and then drop off and get down into almost like 19 one night. So it's sunbathing weather right now. So but anyway, just set up again. Leaves are turning and stuff. Boy, I really would like for big buck to come slipping off this point right here. That would be almost too perfect, but hey, beggars can't be cheaters. But anyway, that would be nice. That would be like perfect setup. So we're hanging in here, and we're gonna see what happens. You know, again, it's hot. So, but it's like 3 o'clock right now, a little bit before 3. Got in here a little bit earlier, kind of looking around a little bit, trying to see if anything is kind of advanced on any kind of rut stuff. But I haven't seen much difference. You know. So, but anyway. The word is it should be happening, or should be starting anyway. So, but anyway, we'll keep y'all posted. Hey everybody, weather change. It is cold to me this morning. So anyway, yesterday evening, still hunting this big buck place, but probably gonna pull out after today. But yesterday evening was the first time I've not seen a buck in this spot. So, but whenever I pulled out on the road and turned, went about, I wasn't real far anyway. A pretty good little buck crossed the road. I'll show you a picture of it right now. So, and then it's 50 yards past it, a doe coming running across the road out of a bean field. And when I got to that point, there's a huge buck standing on the left. So, it was a whopper. So, but very possibly could have been that one I seen, you know, but not 100% sure. All I know is it's big. So I come back in here this morning. Well, anyway, about 3 o'clock it started sleeting and stuff. It sleeted and rained off and on till probably 9 o'clock this morning. I went ahead and come in, got up a tree, and did see a buck. Boy, he looked like he'd been in a bad fight. It broke up pretty bad, so I'll show y'all a video of that here probably now. But so anyway, it's 11 o'clock and I'm gonna pull out of here, and Matthew's gonna be here probably tomorrow night or Monday, so I ain't too sure. Well, I might try to go put a camera out in the place today, but wind's gonna blow crazy tomorrow, so I might not hunt tomorrow. I might just wait, just rest up and wait for him when he gets back, and start fresh. So that's one thing about hunting a specific buck, which was what I was doing here, basically, because that sucker was, again, a monster. So we're gonna start fresh when Matthew gets here, and then try to, get lucky, trying to find a good funnel. Got some cameras on some good funnels, and they just ain't really showing much. So I don't know if it's not the right time, or if they use funnels different here, or maybe I'm thinking maybe the wrong process on some funnel stuff. And anyway, we'll look at that more and go by fresh tracks and stuff, maybe fresher signs. So I'm about to freeze. They're gonna wind was rough, but it's supposed to get harder. So anyway, robins is all in here and bluebirds. It's kind of cool, but anyway, we're gonna keep y'all posted. Getting out of here, we'll see y'all. Went into a place to hang a camera, come out. This is a little bit after lunch. They munching it up. Cold front's blowing in, so they're getting ready for it. Look who's here. Are we gonna get after a good one? Wind's right. Wind's right. It's blowing. The wind is right, he says. Well, my brother is here. Today is starting the 3rd week in Iowa. So we're gonna get after it hard, so we're gonna keep y'all posted. Look at him, folks. He's getting ready. Watch synchronized. He's zoned in. He's cussing me right now. Maybe not, but he's looking hard. Alrighty, y'all. This is day 2 since Matthew has got here. So evening number 2 hunt. We didn't get out this morning. Matthew had drove 20-something hours to get here, and so we went and looked at this place and hunted yesterday evening, and he seen 4 deer and I seen 6. I had a 2.5-year-old chase a doe, or didn't really chase her, but just bump her under the tree. And then she went on by and he went down the hill. But exciting stuff. And again, several does I could have shot. I could have shot 5 out of the 6. I mean, that's how close it were. So one come running across out of sage stuff and went somewhere, and I'm pretty sure it was a doe. I couldn't really see any. It was close enough where I thought I was seeing a big rack anyway. But anyway, it's kind of warming up a little bit, like in the evenings, 50-something degrees, but still, it's that time of the year. And Matthew's feeling better, so he's down getting in his tree. So I'm hunting like almost like a shelf above some drainages and sage stuff up there. So, and some other different sage stuff in the bottom. So it's almost like above like a thermal hub basically. So, but there's a trail up here that I really like, and have seen some good enough sign that hey, I'm gonna stick with here for a few days just to see what happens. So, and anyway, again, we're enjoying it. It's a cool place. We really, we really stress. I mean, you see me and Kathy do all this stuff, and then me and my brother are doing some things. We've been doing some hunts in Alabama together for several years now, muzzleloader hunt, but now we're like we went to Kansas last year and Iowa this year, so he's struggling a little bit health wise, some stuff, but anyway, it's today is Veterans Day, and he's retired veteran too, so take that in consideration. So happy Veterans Day, belated to all y'all, all your veterans that are subscribed and watch. We really appreciate it. So and appreciate all y'all's service. Wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. So everybody remember that, no matter what time of the year it is. So we appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna get settled in and get ready for this evening's hunt. So we'll see y'all. All right, y'all. Can't remember. It's day 3 with Matthew, I believe. So anyway, yesterday evening I actually called a little buck in. He come running right under me, and you'll see the video of that, I guess, now. So and then I seen a big mama and 2 babies again. And then at dark, I had 2 more deer walk by me. So pretty good evening. Matthew had seen a small buck and then shot a, according to him, which y'all gotta remember one thing, my brother has never shot anything with a bow bigger than a spike or a 3-point, something like that. So he's killed like a 5-point with a crossbow or something. But so anyway, he's got to get over that bad juju or bad luck, or I call it buck fever, and he says no, he ain't got buck fever. But I mean, anyway, he said it was almost like a matrix situation. This buck come out 32 yards, something like that. He said he was calm, the deer was stretched out. He said it looked, around 120 inches or so, nice buck, like a 9 or 10 points. So, and he said when he shot, he said it was real calm. He said it sounded like his bow was loud, and he said he could hear the air going through the air, and Next thing you know, that deer turns into a ball and he hears a loud pop. Deer runs off, runs up on top of the hill. He sees the air kind of flopping in an odd place before it comes out. Then he watched it stand up there for a while. And it was cold last night. It got down to 30 or something like that. So we waited till this morning, which he had a bad feeling it wasn't going to be the way it run up the hill and the way it stood there for a long time, just kind of looking around like what happened. It wasn't doing any helicoptering with a tail or anything. So we just, but we did. We come in, got here, and there's a vehicle parked here this morning. So we was like, crap. So we waited till 10 o'clock and eased in here. Didn't get nowhere near the guy. Matthew actually talked to him a little bit later, and we tracked the deer 300 or 400 yards, I say, maybe, and he never laid down. It was some good blood, but it was nothing. You know, doing this a long time, you can almost get the feeling how they're walking, what they're doing. It's not lethal or anything. So, but they're gonna try to get Matthew on a little interview and talk about it a little bit, because he's trying to get through that, and it's, you know, he's 53, so, and has never killed a good one with a bow. So that's why we're going so much places. I mean, last year he missed one with a crossbow in Kansas, and hit one low in the leg. We tracked for like a mile and a half, but anyway, he's gonna get over it. Don't be hating about it. It's just part of it. So I mean, that's just stuff you got to get through. So he's trying. He practicing all this stuff. He's a good shot. So but anyway, in here for this evening hunt, and while we were tracking, we had a young buck chase a doe. Almost run over me. And then another buck come down. Matthew said was like it had a rack. He said it looked like it's 120 or something. Couldn't really tell, but it said decent racks. So it's hot here. It was just, and the weather's kind of hot in the evening, but so it's 50 something right now, pushing 60. But anyway, let's get settled in. We'll see what happens. We'll keep y'all posted. Alrighty, y'all. Time for an update. Yesterday, the perfect scenario happened. Monster buck, 30-yard broadside, and I shot under it. So again, it was a perfect scenario. He come out there is where I was kind of hoping that it would come through. I was kind of thinking it might come from that way, but anyway, he come from that way. Wind coming across this way, so basically the wind to his back, and which, you know, a lot of people say they don't believe that, but I've seen them travel wind to their back, I mean wind to their nose, wind sideways, you know, which the setup is, this is the leeward side of a ridge system, and you got this very unique edge. So anyway, he come through there just bebopping, walking fast, and I stopped him, you know, and he was kind of looking toward me, and I kind of aimed low, and evidently I aimed too low. But anyway, bad screw up. So it is what it is. But I mean, that's one of the hardest parts is, you know, making the plan work where you get a shot at a big one. Because I'm telling you, he's a big one. I'm gonna say 180s plus. That's just me. You know, could be wrong, but he's way past 160. So, but anyway, very big deer. Had him on camera. I mean, plan worked perfect. So, and we're snake bit right now. Matthew's had 2 opportunities. You know, one pretty close. One was kind of a long shot, but anyway, no success. I mean, but. So today we're going to move. You know, as bad as I hate to, you know, there's does in this area, but I mean, we've been in here. We just going to start out fresh, I guess. Anyway, so another thing I wanted you to kind of think about, whenever you get a hard, you know, I've talked about this before, a hard antler picture of a buck, nighttime, daytime, I don't care. That's one of the best things you can have, you know, because he's there for a reason. So even though that was the only pictures I got of that buck was one time, you know, a lot of people don't hunt where they put cameras at. They're using them for inventory or whatever, or just scared to, but I don't put a camera somewhere unless it's an area I really think I can hunt. So it's just where I can get in, access, all that stuff. So, but anyway, I mean, that's just, you know, part of the learning process, and part of the information is, you know, if you get a hard antler picture, I'm telling you, fantastic starting point. You know, just kind of, especially during that time frame, you know, he's moving that way for some reason, you know. So, but anyway, Matthew's getting down, so I'm getting down too. So we're gonna meet him, and we're gonna devise a plan. And oh, I did get a text from Jacob Meyer saying he shot a big one, got good blood, and they're fixing to start tracking. So hopefully they find that, and it'll be sweet. So congratulations, Jacob. I hope. I mean, I don't want to be like jinxing or anything, but I haven't seen a picture of a dead deer yet. But anyway, at least, hey, you got a good shot, and y'all been on them too. So anyway, hopefully he got that awesome buck, and we'll maybe we can get a picture of that thing. So, but we'll keep y'all posted, and appreciate y'all. All right, everybody. We made a move to a different area today, so a lot of sign in here. We don't, I mean, some of it's pretty dang fresh, but you know, of course, they're chasing now. So anyway, it's getting breezing now. Got a front kind of working its way, I guess, but it's supposed to be breezing the next couple of days. But at 70 something daggum degrees was crazy. But anyway, me and Matthew moved in some of the nastiest stuff that you can see right there. That's crazy thick. Got a ditch right here, got a trail that comes across right there. So, but back there's a little bit of a gap, got a couple of holes, but it's tight quarters. But hey, I like it like that. So of course, hey, gonna best be less than 30 yards, 50 dummy. But anyway, again, we didn't, Matthew, neither one of us seen anything this morning. So, and we was hesitant about kind of moving, but we felt like we might need to, but so we did. We're just going with our gut, so we'll see what happens. So anyway, he's hanging in there, I'm hanging in there. We're not giving up by any means, so that will never happen as far as I know. So anyway, it's 3 o'clock, we're gonna see what happens. Everybody, we're back at it this afternoon. Plans kind of got altered this morning. We planned on being back in here this morning, but kind of find out now, listen, them Southern Outdoorsmen, they've been out here for about a week, and we have not been hunting nowhere near them. I mean, completely different areas and pieces of public, but we had this place marked to come look at later on, because it's daggum nasty. Well, anyway, long story short, Jacob shot this big buck, and it come across private and come into this area that we were hunting yesterday evening, and we didn't know it, but they'd seen Matthew's truck yesterday and messaged me about it and saying that how he'd shot it and all that. And well, this morning they were gonna have a dog in here, and they actually put a dog through here on a different general area that we're hunting, but still in the area. So we give them their time in here this morning without any kind of, didn't want no interference or any kind of stuff like that. So anyway, come here, some wind ain't the best in here today, but we're gonna stick with it. And Matthew's seen, I seen that small buck yesterday, 2-year-old, and had a doe come up on me right before dark, and then Matthew seen a big buck, long G2s following a doe or two. Then had something come up behind him and turn and hop off, made a couple, 2 or 3 quick hops to get back into whatever thick, which crap is thick in here. And he said it sounded real heavy, but it never blew, so that's kind of, big buck kind of characteristics about blowing or not. So, but anyway, it's almost 3 o'clock, and it's supposed to cool off a little bit tonight, which will make it better. So, but anyway, we're gonna see what happens. We got a few more days anyway. We'll keep y'all posted. Again, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. This video's been long, but again, this is just a nasty, thick spot that's in between two private pieces that's got little ditches in it, so, and it's just a cool spot. So we're gonna hang in there with it. Hey y'all, this is the first morning we've hunted in this spot. This is like I think maybe the fourth different area that we've hunted, and me and Matthew have been discussing what we've been seeing here. This morning I seen a small buck and then a little small deer. Couldn't tell if it had any antlers or nothing, but it was a small deer, so very young deer, and he seen a couple young bucks. We've been seeing a lot of young stuff in here, so we're kind of leaning toward we might want to make one more one more there. Meh. 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 Well, we changed our mind because as I was recording that other thing, there was a nice buck come through at an angle, just walking. So kind of a game changer. He was nice. He looked like he's 20 inches wide and 12-inch tines. So we're gonna stick in here again this evening, and then come back in the morning and hunt, give it just a little bit more, and just see what happens. So yeah, just stick with us, everybody. Well, it's a sad day today, but today is our last day and our last morning. So and it was a good morning, a real good one. I had a little young buck come walking by. To 20 yards. Of course, not what I wanted. And then later on, had a nice 120 inch or so, maybe a little bigger, 9 point white horn. 26 yards could have had. I mean, could have had a shot at him. So. But passed him up. Now Matthew had some close calls. He had a big one. He said like a 150 or bigger that within like 40 yards of him busted him or something. So and then he had another good one come by twice. And he couldn't tried to gut him in and stuff and didn't care. Didn't care a thing about it. That 9 point stayed over here by me and made a rub and stuff. But anyway, very good hunting. Now yesterday we didn't do any updates or nothing, but yesterday morning here, same place, I didn't see anything. Matthew, I think Matthew seen two, nothing big. So, but then yesterday evening we went by this cornfield place and was looking at it, and we seen probably 20, maybe 20 deer. Right there to show up. Yeah, a little bit. Yep. I could have been to the right. That's the one. That's the one you passed up. like 10 or 12 bucks, all like, you know, bachelor, I wasn't bachelor groups, I guess, but a bunch of young bucks. There's 3 or 4 fighting in this cornfield, and they were cutting up. It was crazy. One of them's a little bitty dude. He had either broke off antlers or spikes, but he was I'm talking about after it. He was putting a whoop on this one buck. This other bigger buck would come in there and kind of settle them down. But it was funny. We seen several does, and you know, again, some more of the bucks and dang turkeys was cutting up. I heard one gobble, but anyway, been a very good, trip. You know, of course, you know, both of us we had our dang chances. Now, we had the opportunities at what we wanted, you know, what we come to Iowa for. You know, big daggum bucks. So one of them, you know, being a monster for sure. That one I missed, shot under, but so, you know, a lot of people be like, I just shot, so I wouldn't come home with an empty tag. I'm not eating tag suit. Well, I don't come here for that. I don't go to Kansas for that. So I'm not worried about, you know, eating tag soup or not shooting anything, because that's not, you know, that's not what we come here for. We come for the big boys. So we had opportunities, and it was fun. So I'm not worried about it again. I'm not worried about going home with a tag in my pocket. So I've done that twice here. So, and I had chances with a muzzleloader hunt late season, and then this bow hunt. So far, I haven't filled one in Iowa. That's fine. So I've come home with a tag in my pocket from Wyoming one time, a deer tag. Passed up some, and I come home with a bear tag in my pocket in Canada. So I mean, not always the case. So, and actually I went to Illinois one time hunting for a week, public land, and had like a little young 10-point, like a 2-year-old 10-point, but passed that tag, took that tag home with me. So I don't go to these other states just to fill a tag. So just, you know, not even a doe tag, because I don't go out of state hunting to hunt does or hunt for meat, you know, generally. So it's like trophy hunting. You know, some people are being negative about trophy hunting, but kind of that's why we go to these big states, big buck states, you know. So wanna be, you know, mind their manners when we're out of state, I guess you could say, and you know, treat them like they would want us to treat them. You know, don't shoot the little bucks in these big buck states. You know, try to hold out for a real good one. So anyway, Matthew's climbing down, so I'm gonna climb down, and we're gonna wrap this trip up. So, but it was again fun. You know, we'll have some video. There's some more videos of them deer stuff that I've got to see, and some of the, you know, how they're acting or how they're walking and stuff, and hopefully a few tips maybe come out of it. So, but you know, we've done a lot of thick stuff hunting and some stuff similar to home. Didn't really do that much cornfield hunting. We just hunted wood blocks between them, and you know, wood blocks close to CRP, and just so, and some associated with some big buck signs. So again, we had a chance. So anyway, we appreciate y'all. You know, now head home Alabama, see what we can do there. So again, we appreciate y'all. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do, and we'll see y'all.